Position. Now I'm just going to let the weight of my arm swing through. Get in. Oh, man. Almost knocked that one into the hole. Hey, everyone. Shawn Clement here, Wisdom in Golf and instructor with Golf Channel Academy. Did you see that shot? That was 50 yards in the air. You're going to see how important this shot is for you to practice in order to get that all-precious lag, that ball first, then ground contact that we all want to see, and you won't believe how easy it is to integrate in your golf game. Once you're able to see it, you can do it. Got to stay with us. Okay, a little anatomy first. If I was cutting grass with one arm, there's my lawnmower, so you can see that the center of that machine is my shoulder. Now, you'll notice that the club is cutting the grass right underneath that shoulder. So if we go about it a different way, now you have two pendulums in your swing. So let's say I wanted to squeeze a ball into the face of this hammer with my club face. All right? So I wouldn't be putting it here because you'll notice that the low point, when I bring both arms together to take my grip, the low point is right there in the center of my clavicles, my sternal notch. So if I'm cutting grass, you'll notice the center where it wants to start cutting grass is from the center forward, all right? So if I wanted to squeeze this ball into this hammer with a full swing, I would do it from here, place it basically in the center of my stance. Now, when my arms fall, notice my arms fall first, then the club comes down. Instinctively, this is where I would want to trap the ball against the face of that hammer. If I play the ball a little too far forward, now it feels like I'm going to bottom out before I get to the ball, and when I get to the ball, I'll be topping it on the way up. And if I want to hit it solid, well, I'm going to have to bring my center forward, and now it's going to go to the left. So if the ball position was too far back in my stance, well, notice now if I let everything fall, it's going to fall to this center. I'm going to have to reach back. Now for chipping, this would be okay because the hands naturally stay forward and don't really change. That's for another day. But if I have it too far back and I'm trying to go towards the target, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to reach back to get to that. And if I don't reach back, then it's going off to the right. So there's the ideal position. So if I use this hammer now to do it with the backward shot, right? Then if I play it too far forward, I'm going to top it on the way up. So you notice the center of that swing arc is right here. And you'll notice that the low point of that swing, where I want to catch the ball, is right there at the front of my toes. So this allows my hand to naturally hang forward. So now when I take my swing, notice the second pendulum right here, where your wrists are going to hinge. So my arm falls, brings my hand past the ball naturally. If I play the ball right underneath my shoulder socket, then I'm going to run the risk of having the club catch up to my hands prior to impact. That's going to cause me to hit the ground first and or top it on the way up. And if I played the ball too far out here, I'd have to reach back to get to the ball. So there's a nice little zone where if I just let it fall, stay there, it wants to compress the ball naturally against that hammer. So now you can see where the ideal ball position is. And then you start to figure out, oh yeah, look, this is the only way to trap the ball to the target. And you'll see the distance between you and the ball, real simple. This is where the arm is hanging. So you got no choice but to have the ball right there. I can't go there. I'd have to hold the arm out. Remember that putting video I just did a few days ago? And obviously, if it's closer than that, I'm stubbing my toe. So this is where it wants to pass. Pretty cool, huh? So that would be the place where I'd want to have that ball position. And like I was showing you, if you look at how the shot comes off, notice when I want to jump towards you, my hands come together. And when I want to get ready to jump towards you, my arms split apart. So the nature of this swing is not going to be straight. It's going to have a tendency to swing in to out. So expect that to go a little bit more to the left if you're a right-handed player. So we're good to go. Get my ball position. Feels like my hand is naturally hanging in front of the ball. And it feels like if I take a practice swing, I can see the blur right above the ball. So I got the right distance to ball. I got the right ball position. Now I'm just going to let the weight of my arm swing through. Get in. Oh, man. Almost knocked that one into the hole. That's 50-yard green right there. So this is such a highly effective shot to hit. So now let's look at, with the normal, swing setup, how that would transpire. All right. So let's have a look here. If I go to what just went on, there's my backswing. Pretty cool, huh? So I got the right ball position. My hands are hanging in front, or my hand is hanging in front. Now, as I come down, see how my hand passes the ball first. Then the club comes down, catches the ball, squeezes it through that door frame, and then continues right through. See how my arm wants to move just a little bit away from me. And look at how beautiful that club face is right there. So if we look at angle of attack, perfect. 10 degrees down. My path was 0.1 in to out, right? 45 yards carry, 60 yards total. And look how straight that was. The spin axis on that was just phenomenal. So if you look at the replay, man, I pulled it. Or pushed it, I should say, because it's moving away. How gorgeous was that? Okay, so I've got a 100-yard shot. I got my sand wedge, and I'm getting ready to squeeze that ball into the hammer. So notice when I was doing it with the reverse shot, right, the backward shot, that I was just letting my arm fall through the shot. And it's the same thing here. I've got two arms together, and the center is right here where between the two clavicles, the sternal notch. So I'm positioning that in a way. Notice how my hands naturally want to hang in front of the ball. So you'll notice that is just slightly back of center. And back of center is where you're going to see the vast majority of the pros on tour hitting their wedges from, because they're coming in low, draw, trapping it. That's where you get the most control over your golf shots. And you'll see the spin that you get out of that is quite phenomenal. So I feel now that when I let my arms fall, my hands are falling in front of the ball, and then the club is going to come and catch the ball afterwards. And then as I let my arms fall past me and toward the target, that's the most important. So it's arms fall, club falls, there's my impact, And as that is happening, the arms are continuing and the body's getting out of the way because I'm letting my arms continue towards the target. So it looks like this. Did you see where the low point occurred? So the place where the club actually hits the ground is, so it's ball, then dandelion stem, then grass through the hammer, then it exits out of the grass only past the hammer. That's why divots are usually about the length of that hammerhead. So let's have a look. Feel like my hands are naturally hanging in front of the ball, and I'm just going to let the weight of my arms fall in the direction of that intermediate point right there. Here we go. Here's that shot. And watch the spin on that. Just sit and stay. So notice my path was naturally from the inside because everything is revolving around that. And look how beautiful the center strikes are there. So I'm hitting that right in the center of the club. My angle of attack, notice, very similar to my backward shot, 8 degrees down, because it's a wedge. From the inside, my face is closed enough and I'm getting a nice little draw. Now look at how closed the face is. If this was a driver, that would have been a snap hook, right? But with the wedges, you can go much more closed and you're only getting a little draw. Notice how that ball didn't move a lot in the air. So if we look at, it started at 3.5 degrees to the right, and it ended up only 8 feet offline to the right. Descent angle was 50 degrees, nice 75-foot high shot, and that was exactly 100 yards. And there's another valuable lesson there. A smooth sand wedge sits and stays. A firm sand wedge is going to spin off the green depending on the conditions. So if you want that ball to sit and stay, we're looking at backspin on that was 9,000 RPM. If I rip through there with a little bit more authority, and I would only apply that authority beyond the ball and toward the target, then that backspin would go up to 11,000 RPM in a heartbeat, okay? So hope you enjoyed that, and stay with us, man. Subscribe, don't forget. If you want many more details, make sure you subscribe to wisdomingolfpremium.com. It's only $9.95 a month. You get my life's work when it comes to, getting educated on the golf swing, on the mental side of the golf swing, on the mental preparation for your golf shots, so that you can enjoy this game and come out and meditate instead of come out and freak. All right? Enjoy.